Hi, everybody. This is Audrey Moore with the Audrey Helps Actors podcast, and this is episode 119. Feeling seen, hopefully, this season in your career. Today, we talk about agent theft is bad, okay? You guys, agent theft is bad, okay? We talk with Cyd Strittmatter. Cyd is amazing. She has been a working actor for 40 years. She has been in everything from Cheers to X-Files to The Conners, 911, not to mention bajillions of commercials. She is a true titan in the industry. I love and adore her so much. We talk about personal career sustainability. We talk about current landscape of auditions and bookings, really, really important part of this conversation. And we talk about how agents at KMR stole approximately $3 million from their clients. And it's bad, okay? And most importantly, we try to inform you how you can avoid having your agent steal from you. Really, anyone in production to your agent or your manager steal from you. All right, this last week, the review baby had a buffet. This week has been brought lunch and dinner from, oh no, it's Grace, ha ha ha. Jenna's 89, but they had to skip breakfast, so please take 20 seconds and go to ratethispodcast.com/Audrey to give this review baby a little num-noms, a little breakfast num-noms. Also, as promised, I did text my mom your reviews, and I want you to know I gave you two options that I thought were likely. Either she would say, very good, no punctuation, very nice, no punctuation. I also think I said, or a thumbs up. And we got a reply from my mom. I sent her the whole video, I'll post it. And she wrote, very nice, normal, lowercase, normal, all of that, but with 2 exclamation marks. I mean, I want you guys to know from my mom, that is a massive amount of text. Have I gotten 2 exclamation marks from my mom before? I'm not confident that I have. So thank you all for helping me get more attention, validation from my mom than I have maybe ever had. It may sound like I'm being hard on my mom, and I want you to know I love my mom deeply. This week's podcast is brought to you by Casting Networks. Go to castingnetworks.com/Audrey and use promo code AudreyCN. That's AudreyCN for Casting Networks, not AudreyCN for Coco Nutty, for $65 off a premium annual membership. All right, I hope you're on your way to an audition. No, I hope you're on your way to set, and I hope that you smash it.
Audrey helps actors because they don't know anything.
Hi, everybody. I'm Audrey Moore with the Audrey Helps Actors podcast, and today we have
Cyd Strittmatter.
Cyd!
Hi, Audrey.
Hi! I'm so geeked out that you're here.
Thank you. I love your space.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love the space. Yeah.
I love your face. So
Well,
there
thank
we
you.
are. Okay,
Thank you.
great.
It's good to see you.
I am really thrilled that you're here. I know that I've told you this in the past, but I will reiterate. I am such a fan of yours. I really look up to you. I think you have such an incredible heart. You're so talented. And
Thank you.
You have been in this industry in the way that I really identify with.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see the love and heart that you have for the work. And you have been in this career,
Yep.
and you have watched it mold and grow and change, and we'll talk about all of that. So tell everyone, I always start with, how are you union? How long have you been in the union? How long have you been professionally pursuing acting? Do you audition? How often do you audition? For what sort of things do you audition for? So generally people have an understanding of your landscape in the industry.
So I was one of the lucky ones. The first commercial I ever auditioned for, I got.
You weren't the lucky one. You were just
It was
so ready to go.
Taco Bell, National Network, casting director Sharon McGee. I don't know if she's still.
Hey, Sharon.
Hey, Sharon, wherever you are. Thank you. So I booked my first job.
That's awesome.
And so I joined in 1985.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I never had to deal with non-union.
Yes.
First union, I didn't do any non-union before that.
Yeah.
Like union, audition,
Right
first
away.
time out, there we go.
Amazing.
Yeah. And, but then the fun thing, I didn't book again for 3 years. So that's the beauty of that.
Right.
You
Well,
know?
the reality.
The reality. I was young. I was 21. And so, yeah, for 3 years. And then the second one I booked was a Toyota.
Fantastic.
But what's interesting is I did that job.
Yeah.
And I joined the union right away.
Yeah.
There was never like, oh, you don't join.
No, that's a newer thing
Yeah.
because of these agents that we'll talk about. But these not these non-union, I think. Well, I call them trashy agents. Well, that's what I call them.
Okay. Okay.
Who are here to exploit mostly young talent. And so we'll talk about that. But keep going and telling everyone about your current landscape. I know that you work theatrically.
Yes.
I know you work commercially. I know we've had like a funky few years.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, how often are you auditioning commercially?
You know,
Theatrically, voiceover?
I have to tell you, like through COVID and all of it, I shot a spot in my house. I traveled to Utah when there was no,
Amazing.
like nobody was wearing masks. We were in the height of that damn pandemic.
Yeah.
And I was like, so COVID till the theatrical strike, it was kind of a little bit of business as usual for me.
Me too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't have this like, oh my God. I kind of continued to maneuver my way through it.
I'd love to talk about that. And we'll talk about what I call building a career because of relationships.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So then during the strikes and coming back, how are things going?
This has been the hardest for me in my entire career.
Cyd, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. During the strike, I booked 2 commercials
Ditto.
at the end of the year, the last year. And then, but theatrically, it has not rebounded for me. I booked 1 thing in March.
Okay.
And I've had maybe 4 auditions.
That's everybody though.
The thing that I have going for me, that, and I think it's the life experience of being an actor, is I'm not, health insurance, I think is everybody's concern of like, oh my God, I have a family, I got to make health insurance.
Right.
I've always made my health insurance this whole time.
Yes.
Since I've been a member of the union. So 40 years.
Awesome.
I think I'm going to make it again. But what I do know is that it's nothing personal.
That's right.
And it took me to having children in my 30s where I'm like, my world became so much bigger in a way, like I'm now responsible for these people, these children, that I know I've been around enough to know that it's nothing to do with me.
It's not.
It's as soon as we can get the personal out of it, the younger we are, the saner you will be in this business because
I was going to say, but that's also hard because I think the younger you are, the more you want it to be about how uniquely special you are.
it's true.
And so you're coming in the beginning for this sense of validation and confirmation of your unique specialness. And that's the very thing that you need to shed in order for the career to really be understood as a career and not the world's responsibility to affirm your value.
Yeah, absolutely. The sooner, and God, if I could have learned that in my 20s, because I was that girl that you just described.
Yes.
The hopes, the dreams, I can do that. The confidence, even, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But it's a career, and I've when that turning point came for me, I realized this career is not precious. As soon as, for me, I got that word out of it.
Great.
The word precious.
Yes.
This is my job.
Yes.
It took on a whole new meaning for me.
I love that because for me, I'm always trying to tell people that there is the art form and the craft, and then there is the career.
Yeah.
There's the business, which, as you're saying, it's just so true. Like which everyone says, there's so much you can't control. It's not personal. And I always tell everyone, the year where you don't make your health insurance is coming for all of us.
Absolutely.
I don't know when, I don't know how, and I don't know for how long. But if you are one of the truly blessed few who has earned it, I don't want to negate that you've earned it, who has earned your health insurance for those 40 years, That's fantastic.
Yep.
And also, if that doesn't happen in any particular year,
Yep.
it doesn't mean that you're bad or you're wrong or
Not at all.
you're deficient or any of those things. It just means something wacky is happening and things didn't go your way this time.
And then I always, in that moment, I say the word in my mind, business. And that's, I go back to the hope of, all right, I'm going to jump through the hoops.
Yeah, right.
And I'm going to do it with the hope that I get sent on to producers. I get it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because for me, because the commercial money isn't piling in, I am jumping through the hoops.
Yes.
Because I have to.
Yeah.
Somebody once said to me years and years ago, how do you work so much? And my answer was because I have to.
Oh, great.
So in my mindset, the possibility of not booking work to pay my bills, I don't entertain it. Even in this time now,
Yes.
that's why I'm still like,
Yes.
I get really like a toddler, like, no, I'm not gonna entertain that.
Yeah. I love
And
that.
and it always works out.
I know.
God, I could cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the hope, like that does exist sometimes. And it does sometimes prove that, I know it sounds so hokey, like if you hang in there,
yeah.
but
you're not
proof.
just hanging in.
No.
You're hanging in and then you're hustling.
Yes.
And the hustle
Yes.
is not stopping for you. And so there's a difference between hanging in and hoping to manifest versus hanging in and contacting people and getting stuff out there and doing the tapes and doing the work that it needs to book the tapes
Yep.
and getting it done, right?
And my confidence level, and I know it's the self-tape thing as a whole, like
It is.
it's very split. Like I don't want to do it. And then for me, I feel like my work is better.
Oh, I think that's great. And I hope that we go into a space for many reasons, equality being one of them, that people who, for any number of reasons, want to or need to go into their room are able to.
Yep.
And those who want to and need to tape for any number of reasons are able to.
Yeah.
That's in my dream. I would like to pronounce it and have it be so. Okay, let's talk about my intention for having you on today. I have it on here.
Okay.
You guys know I love a good intention. Okay. So I want to talk about what happened with KMR, the agency. You and I both have lots of friends who were with them. I'm sure you have, as I have, many friends who've lost lots of money from what happened. So those of you watching or listening who don't know, KMR is a talent agency that has been in many iterations over the years. And in the last, I think 10 is when he came on. I think it's 10.
It's that long?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
An agent came on to what was a different agency group, and it became KMR. And that was because of an agent that joined the group. Now, this agent is now accused of, and I'm not sure where they are in terms of the legal proceedings of everything, but this agent has stolen
Millions?
The approximation is $3 million. So this is an agency that is a pretty solid tier agency. Bi-coastal. It had actors in both New York and in Los Angeles, prominent level actors, many of them, spokespeople, a very healthy commercial department, a very healthy theatrical department, also a very healthy theater on the stages department in both New York and in Los Angeles. And people that I know and love, that know me and can call me at any time, were scammed and didn't take the flags seriously. And I wanted first to say that this is not the first agency that has done this. And it will not be the last, which is why it's important that we have this conversation, because I actually already did this episode with an actress named Anastasia Letic, but for a different agent in 2018.
I was with an agency that
It did this.
and this would have been in the 90s.
Yes.
But no, I didn't have any money stolen.
Great.
Yeah, but it happened. Oh God,
to
yeah.
you.
Very prominent, boutique, amazing agency.
Yes. Yes.
Same thing.
Same thing. So
Yeah.
I just want everyone to know we're going to title this episode Agent Theft. And I just want you to know agents steal just like anyone steals. And so not all agents steal, but just like not all people steal, some agents are going to and maybe don't yet, but will soon or are already, and you just aren't aware of it. So you and I are going to discuss how to not get stolen from, because my philosophy has always been, whether I'm on set or with an agent or anything, you might be here to fuck over somebody. And I'm not going to be able to control whether or not you fuck over everybody else. But you are not going to fuck over me. And so I'm going to make sure that it is clear that you and I have a communication that I'm on your shit and you are going to pay me correctly and you're going to pay me on time. And we're going to be in a consistent communication to make sure that that happens.
I'm sure you're the same as me. If on set, I did a job last year where there were 14 principals. And I noticed something in the contract about the streaming piece. I'm like, no, not right. Well, I was the advocate. I always am. And I said, guys, call your agent. This isn't what was presented. So yeah, I like bringing my team of actors on set. I consider we're all in this, and I will. And even when it airs, we keep in contact. I'm like, we didn't get paid this. Call your agent. I bring everybody along with me. Yeah,
I do the same thing, and I also take it the next step, and I get people's contact info. I put us on a group chat on Instagram. I do things like that just so I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I'm not scared is what I will say. I don't know why I'm not scared, but part of it might be because I understand very much what's happening on the other side of the camera. And I had a job that there was a theatrical job, lots of episodes, and I wasn't getting paid correctly. And I called the accountant every week. And I was like, hi, Jill. So just wanted you to know, got this check, and I don't think this is right, and I don't think this is right. And according to the contract, this is the thing, and this is the thing. And then Jill kept being like, oh, okay. And then finally, Jill just started overpaying me. Jill was just like, I'm going to give you more. I'm just going to give you lots of, no one's checking. I'll give you more money. And congratulations. And I was like, fine with me, Jill. Jill didn't tell me that, but that is what eventually ended up happening. So I figured Jill was just like, F it, get this girl off my back. And when I would tell people on set that I didn't believe we were getting paid correctly, everyone was very scared about that. And I said, here's what's not going to happen. This is not what's going to happen. What is not going to happen is that the accountant who's overwhelmed, it's not the accountant's fault, is not going to go to producers and say, hey, I'm getting a lot of phone calls from Audrey because I'm not paying her correctly. That's not going to happen.
No.
And if there's something nefarious going on where the producers, for whatever reason, are like, well, just try not to pay everybody correctly, right? If for some reason that's happening, those producers aren't the people I'm trying to work again with. The people I'm trying to work again with are the director, the writer, the executive producer, things like that, the decision makers, right, who are going to bring me in for the next project. And those producers, if they are being nefarious, are not going to go up to the director and be like, hey, we're having a problem. We're trying not to pay our actors. And so we've told accounting to just not pay them correctly. But darn it, that Audrey, she just keeps calling. And so we just thought we would let you know. Because the director is part of DGA. And the director is likely married to an actor. And it's like, no, pay people correctly. So those conversations aren't happening. So I want us to go about how you and I, in particular, guard ourselves against being stolen from anyone. Production, agent, manager, because I want everyone to have real direct, clear examples and instructions of what to do. And I want you to know that if you are scared to do this, on one side of the fear is what I want you to know is when I say very unlikely, I mean highly unlikely possibility of retaliation. I want you to know nobody cares about you. So highly unlikely on one side. And on the other side is you get stolen from.
Yeah. And once again, I go back to the word business. If you're working at the Gap and your paychecks are effed up, are you going to not go, hey, I didn't get my overtime? I mean, maybe some people are afraid. And,
that's right.
And that's true. And I get that. But if I can as somebody who's 40 years in, to those just starting business, nothing personal, we work to receive a paycheck.
That's right. And
that's all we're doing. That's the
I'm
exchange.
offering you a service. You're paying me for this service, right? That's all this.
That's all this is.
It's an exchange of labor for money.
That's
labor
all
for
this
money.
is.
Labor for money.
Yep.
And I would also like to suggest to those of you who are too scared. I know that you have a bossy friend out there, and I want you to enlist your bossy friend and say, "Hey, I'm like a little bit now. I'm not your bossy friend. So if you weren't in my wedding,
you're going to be getting lots of calls, Audrey.
I know. If you weren't in my wedding, don't call me. But if you were in my wedding, call me, and I will be your bossy friend. Now, call your bossy friend and say, I think I'm not getting paid correctly, or I haven't gotten my money yet. And then say, I'm afraid to call. Will you pretend to be me and call? And your bossy friend will. Because often we don't have the courage to do it for ourselves, but we have all the courage to do it for somebody else.
Yep.
But wait, Cyd. Oh, Captain, my captain. Wait, I have to interrupt you.
Help me. I need some help.
And now it's time for listener questions.
I'm so scared.
This listener question is brought to you by Casting Networks. Casting Networks is where more professional roles are booked than any other casting service, used by more than 1,000 of the world's biggest casting directors. With a premium membership, you can submit yourself to unlimited roles, connect to agents and managers, track your submissions via Role Tracker. Now, that's actually really cool. They're having good engagement with the people that are posting the roles, letting you know where the role is at, what's going on with the role, because isn't that the worst part, is you just don't know, like, what happened? What happened? We've always been like, what happened? And so the Role Tracker helps with that, which I think is really great. Access to Thrive, which provides unlimited access to telemedicine and behavioral services, network pharmacy discounts, and home testing discounts. So listen, we're offering $65 off a premium annual membership. Use code AudreyCN when you check out. Instructions on how to redeem your offer can be found at castingnetworks.com/Audrey. Go to castingnetworks.com/Audrey. Use promo code AudreyCN for Casting Networks for $65 off a premium annual membership. Call us with your questions at 667-ACTOR-70. That's 667-ACTOR-70.
Hi, Audrey. This is Heather Hyatt. I am calling from the Bay Area. I am flying out to a high school reunion tomorrow, and I know the inevitable, what do you do? question is going to come up a lot, and I still struggle with what to say, especially when I haven't booked a lot or booked anything this year specifically. You're not going to get this in time to save me before this weekend, but I would still love your thoughts for the future because it always seems to come up. I've been practicing just saying I'm an actor, period, and not qualifying it with but I haven't booked in a while. But in the last month, I have had some almost bookings, went to producers for a role in a series that I didn't book, obviously, and then booked a video game role that ended up not being able to do it because I'm traveling. But I didn't actually do any of the work, so it feels really silly to say, well, I almost did these things. I would love to talk to you about being a second actor and aging in Hollywood. There have been a lot of times where I'll audition for something and they end up skewing much younger for the role. And I always hear there's a place in TV and film for everyone, but it just feels so much like a younger person's game. And maybe I just need you to tell me some stats to the contrary. Okay, that is all. Thank you so much for everything we do. Bye.
Hi, Heather. Good to hear from you. So I just wanted to let you know a couple things. One, we are going to be answering in this episode a lot of the discussion about what to say when people ask you what you do for a living. So that is in this episode at great length. So I'm not going to give you an answer to that one because it's in the episode. But I do want to talk about aging in Hollywood. I think that's really important. Aging in Hollywood, first of all, I do want to say I think everyone thinks that their age range isn't booking right now. That's just what I noticed. Everyone in their 20s thinks that everyone in their 40s is working. Everyone in their 40s thinks everyone in their 30s is working. Everyone in their 30s thinks everyone in their 50s is working. That's just what it is. I will say with regard to ageism, I'm very passionate about it because I do notice a huge discrepancy in ageism and just in stereotyping people of various ages across all age ranges. One thing that I will say is that when you look at stories being told, and if I were to ask you how many characters are like 65 and older on television and in movies, I don't see a lot of numbers. I don't have actual data to back that up, however, so I'm a little reticent to be so bold. But when you watch television, all I ask you to do, if you're watching commercials, television, movies, is take your age range and ask yourself, how many times do you see yourself represented on the screen? And if you're not seeing a lot of it, it might be just what you're watching. And so that also is something to consider. So maybe some actual more specified market research is required. So the biggest thing with age range is actually, I would say, resume. So when we start getting into a older age category, it is often that the resume becomes more of a competitive thing to consider. So if you are a second act actor, oftentimes those smaller roles, the co-star roles, those are maybe easier to get a hold of because people in your age range have already done that show, or they don't take co-star auditions anymore. Their rate is higher. So getting those co-star auditions is perhaps easier. But then once you want to jump into larger roles, now you're competing against people like the wonderful Cyd, who has 40 years in SAG-AFTRA and has decades of relationships and experience and all of the things that come along with being competitive, in addition to just being right for the role. So that's where I would say a second act actor has troubles in terms of growing their resume and the size of their roles.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Okay, so I would like for us to first talk about knowing your contract.
Well, that's what that's the first thing. And the beauty of our contract now is it's one page.
Hell
you go
yeah.
on for the union.
Yes, for the union.
You go on the union website, go to commercials. It's one page.
Mm-hmm. And theatrical, though, I also want to talk about theatrical because a lot of the people who got stolen from KMR
absolutely
were also theater, like on the boards, and then theatrical movies and television, right?
Yep.
So it can get gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
I want everyone to understand it can get gnarly. And so I don't want you to have the expectation that you need to know everything right now.
No.
But what you do need to do is you need to start figuring out what you need to know. And that, honestly, I just want you guys to know it's so much simpler than you think it is. It's just you don't even go. Click on the confirm Zoom invite about anything about SAG-AFTRA contracts, SAG-AFTRA negotiations, any of that. Now, if you are non-union, if you are a pre-member and you have not joined, I have bad news for you, which is that there is no union to protect you to get paid. So all of these things that I'm going to talk about in terms of how long they have to pay you and how long to get you your checks, that doesn't apply to non-union because there is nobody checking to make sure you get paid. So it is extremely common in non-union jobs, for commercials particularly. There's not really non-union television. So non-union, Thank God. So non-union commercials, 6 months to get your check is pretty common. So if you just booked a non-union job and they're like, you're going to get this much money, and then you don't see your money for 6 months, I want you to know that's normal and there's nobody here to help you. You can like file a claim with the California Board of Employment, but it is literally and legitimately part of why the union exists, because nobody wants to pay anybody, and certainly nobody wants to pay anyone on time.
Yeah.
So a union has to come in and say, hey, stop it.
And I would say, the thing that we see a lot is spots running illegally,
right,
when we haven't been paid.
Great.
And I mean, that happens in non-union as well.
Yes.
So, and a lot of them are just year buyouts, right? Or in perpetuity. I don't even know.
Yeah. But also, I don't know. I keep my head out of the
I don't know.
world because, listen, guys, if you're in the non-union world, it's nasty out there. And I welcome you to the bright side. Okay, so let's talk about why people get stolen from. One, they don't understand their contract and they don't understand the actual time limit in which they should be getting paid. So for commercial and theatrical, it's about the same. It's about 10 days to 14 days.
And I will say, for me, commercially, my experience, it's usually a month. Theatrically, it's unbelievably quick.
Yes.
It's within that 2 week.
Right.
I have my check.
Right.
Like it's been to the agent, they've dealt with it, and it's in my mailbox. Commercially, it's like it's longer.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So commercially and theatrically, when I say to get the check, I mean for payroll to pay the check out to you. Now that check may go to you or that check may go to your agent depending on what you have asked of payroll. So when you fill out a payroll form, you can say, give this money to my agent, or you can say, send my money to me. Not surprisingly, your agents will all say, have the money come to me.
Yeah.
And you may or may not feel comfortable with that. That's a personal decision and a conversation that can be had with your agent. And I also want to say, listen, everybody, I'm going to talk to you about a little thing called lying/acting. Now,
I can't wait to hear this.
Okay. If you have an agent meeting and you particularly do not want the money to go to the agent, you want the money to come to you, and you want to sign your own checks and then send the commissions fairly and on time, be the business partner you want to have, to your rep, because it is in fact their money, not yours, but you're a little worried about how that will be received. This is my advice to you, is that you go into the agent meeting or you call up your current agent and you say, the thing is that I have 3 friends who were with KMR and they together lost tens of thousands of dollars. And so because of that, going forward, I'm not comfortable having my checks go to agents first. Now, at another date and time, that's something we can possibly discuss altering. But at the moment, I'm sort of panicked about that. And I will feel more comfortable if the money comes to me. If that's a problem, please let me know. Even if that's not true, you guys, because no one's going to go over your friend list and see if you've got friends at KMR. But if it makes you feel more comfortable to use that as a reason in which why you want the checks to come to you, I say use it, because a lot of people lost a lot of money.
Yep.
And if they had to lose a lot of money so that you could like fib and say that they were your friends so that you don't yourself lose a lot of money, I say green lights all the way.
Yep. Another thing I want to bring up that I do, and I started doing this 10 years ago. My agents are completely amazing with the checks.
Ditto.
Just for the record.
Yes.
But 10 years ago, I was calling Extreme Reach. They're getting harder to talk to.
Oh, they're getting impossible to talk to.
Yeah. So
Extreme Reach does a lot of payroll for commercials and theatrical.
They used to be talent partners, right? And so there was this guy, Charles. I would always get him. He's so great. And you give the last 4 digits of your social. He would then go, yeah, you got this check. And then one time, I don't know why I asked, but I said, Charles, you sent it on this date. Has the check been cashed? He's like, yeah, the check was cashed. So it's another way to clock, is your agent sitting on money?
That's right. Because that's a version of theft. I want you guys to know.
Yeah.
That your agent has 2 weeks to get you your money. So if you are 2 months out from having received your money, that is a no-go, everyone. That is a that is a red flag. That is we have a problem here, okay? Now, mistakes do happen.
Of course.
And so I will give everybody a one go, okay? But I'd like for us to act out now contacting the payroll department, not contacting, and so Extreme Reach or any of these. So everyone knows there's the production, we'll say NCIS, and then there's accounting for NCIS. But for some people, there is production, and then they outsource their payroll to companies like Extreme Reach or Talent Partners or something else. Okay?
Highland Talent is another one.
Great. And so Team
is a big one in commercial.
Yes, Team. Okay. And so what you can do is you can call the payroll company. Don't even have to call the person that is part of production. Call the payroll company in charge of your commercial or theatrical gig, whatever it is. And you say any of the number of things that Cyd and I are going to act out for you right now. Okay, great. So I will be payroll.
Yep. Here we go.
And here we go.
Here we go. Ring, ring.
Ring, ring. Hello.
Hi. I'm an actor, and I'm calling about payment, please.
Okay, great. Is this for a
commercial?
Okay, great.
It's for a couple spots, actually.
Okay, do you have the job number?
I do.
Okay.
The first one.
Now, wait. Where can they find the job number?
The job number is on your pay stub,
or if they haven't gotten a paycheck yet,
it's on your contract,
and
it's at the top
of your call sheet.
So
sometimes
a call sheet or your contract on set. You can find it.
Great.
Yeah.
So I just want everyone to know job number.
Yep.
Okay, and resume.
Yep.
Okay, can I have the job number?
Sure. It's 610AB6.
AB6. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Let me look that up.
I'm just calling to see if a holding fee has been paid on that.
Okay, great. So you are looking for, let me look that up. Okay, great. So that was a spot?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Did they pay it?
They did pay that, and the check went out as of last Friday.
Okay. So that was, and you guys are in Chicago.
That's right.
Right. So, okay, now it's Friday. Can I ask you, has the check been cashed?
Let me check.
Thank you.
That check has been cashed.
Okay.
And it also looks like here on this same spot, I have 4 more checks here for usage. One is for Class A, one is for internet and new media, and another one for Class A. It does look like those were mailed 2 weeks ago. Can I have your email address?
Sure. It's CYD boss.
Great.
At Hotmail.
Okay, great. cydboss@hotmail.com.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and send that email out now. You should receive it in the next 10 to 20 minutes. If for any reason you don't get that, you can go ahead and give us a call back, okay?
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you. Great. So that should be out in 20 to 40 minutes. If for any reason you don't receive that, go ahead and call me back.
Okay, and can I just ask your name?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
This is Maureen.
Maureen, and do you have an extension, a direct extension?
I don't have an extension, but I do have an employee ID number.
That'd be great.
Okay, great. So it is also 610AB6.
Great. And can I also get your email? Do you have a direct email?
I do have a direct email. So it's Maureen, G as in goat, at talentpartners.com.
Great. Thank you. You've been so helpful.
You're so welcome.
Thank you so
Cyd.
much.
You got it. Okay, so I want everyone to know they do that. They will email you all of the checks that you've gotten. And then what I have done is I have gone through my whole pile of checks, and I have gone through the list that they've sent me, and I've made sure they've matched up. And I have, not with my current agent, because my current agency is a bunch of boss-ass bitches.
Cyd boss.
Cyd bosses. But in the past with other reps, I have had checks be missing. And so I've had to call and say, hey, I just got off the phone with Entertainment Partners and I was going through my checks. It looks like I'm missing check number 610AB6. Do you have that check? Because they said it was cashed.
I will tell you, I've just been in a claim with a huge company with a dear girl who was with KMR. She didn't get her first round of checks. She never did.
Yeah, it's devastating. And so that's one thing that you can do just to check and see where your money is before you call your agent, you guys. It is helpful to know where your money is before you call your agent, because I want you to protect your relationship with your agent. So don't go calling your agent being like, where's my money? If they don't have the money yet, make sure that there is money that they should have gotten. And then if they have gotten it, or if they should have definitely gotten it and it has been cashed, then you need to go get your money. So let's have that phone call.
Yep.
Okay, so it has been now, let's say for KMR, many of them, 4 months since you got your checks and you have called payroll to find out where your money's at. And they told you that it's been cashed.
Yep.
And so you're going to call me and get your money.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Ring, ring. Hi, this is Shady Agency.
Hey, hi. Sally, hi. How are you?
Hi, good to talk to you. How are you?
You too. Listen, remember that beer job I did?
Yeah,
Which was, gosh, what, five months ago?
Sure.
Have you guys not gotten any money yet?
Oh,
because I'm just curious
let me
what
just
you see.
check. Let's see. So that was Beer Mart was the company, right?
Yeah, and that was I shot it like 5 months ago.
Okay.
I'm just curious what you guys are seeing on your end, because I have some information that I just wanted to help both of us get our money.
Oh, okay. What do you have?
What I have is I called T Partners.
Sure.
And oh my God, they were so forthcoming with all this great information. And they gave me a list of, I think, 5 checks that supposedly was sent out. And then what's weird is they told me that they were cashed.
Oh, they were cashed.
So yeah, so you guys, I guess.
Cyd, I am so sorry. I thought somebody maybe would have told you. Shady Agent has emailed people to let them know we've actually been encountering a really big accounting changeover with our software. This is the story they told everyone. And the software is just being weird. And so we did receive those checks. But if you will just give us 2 weeks to get those out to you, I promise we'll have them in the mail.
You know what? I have a little bit of a problem with this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do. I get kind of upset talking about this. I have stuff going on in my life.
Sure.
Sally, I really need this money.
Yes.
I really need this money. I understand on your end, but the fact that the checks have been cashed, which is information they gave me.
Yeah, it's just our accounting software has just been a really challenging thing to put together and get everything, all the ducks in order. And so we do have the money and we are going to write you those checks. We'll get those checks to you and they should be in your hands in 2 weeks.
Well, first of all, I'd like to come pick them up.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
The mail, I can't even at this point wait for the mail delay.
Okay.
I actually need to come get my checks.
Okay.
Is the head of the agency there?
Shady Agent is not here right now. But I can go ahead and make a phone call and just see about getting these checks made.
Because I really need to resolve this. I don't want this to have to take this any further.
Sure.
Sure. I really don't want to have to do that.
Great. Yeah.
So
I understand. Okay. So why don't I call Shady Agent and I will get right back to you.
Great. I'd love it. What time is it? It's 11. If you could get back to me, by 3, end of the day.
Sure.
If not, I will be calling you tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I really, Sally, this is serious.
Yeah.
I need my money.
Sure.
I need my money.
Okay.
Okay.
You got it. So I will give you a call by 3:00 today.
Sounds great.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's what happened to people is they were told all kinds of lies about accounting issues. Also, what's really common is like the mail. We've been having problems with the mail. It's just, the checks are just going to some other office or they're going to some other place. Like, we just don't know what to do about the mail. And it's like, here's the thing. I understand the mail.
Me too.
So everybody gets the mail, right? But what you just did is you let Sally and KMR know that they may be being shady, but they're not going to be shady to you.
I put them on alert.
You sure did. And so if there's someone that they're going to pay out, that someone better be you, is what you're telling them. Okay, now I would like to do the next day conversation. You did not get a phone call from Shady Agent.
Yeah.
So here we're going to do that phone call. Ready? Hello, this is Sue.
Hi, Sue. Hi, it's Cyd.
Hi, Cyd.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Well, I told you I would call again if I didn't hear back from you yesterday, which I didn't.
Shady Agent just hasn't been available. You know, we've been contacting him, but he's on a big project right now with a client overseas. So we just haven't been able to get in touch. But we are going to get you your checks and we're going to send them to you. I promise in 2 weeks they're going to come to you.
That's not going to work.
Okay.
No, Sue, that's not going to work.
Okay.
I stated yesterday that I need my money.
Right.
And I don't want to have to take this any further.
Okay.
First thing I will do is contact my union.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to alert them as to what's going on.
Okay.
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 Next thing I'm going to do is I have other dear friends with you guys.
Yes.
I mean, who work a lot like I do. And I'm putting some calls out to them to see what if they're getting paid. I don't want to have to do all this stuff.
Right.
I really don't.
I understand.
We've had a working relationship, really good working relationship for 8 years.
Yes, you're right.
8 years.
Yes.
And this gets me emotional. I love you guys.
Right.
You know that.
We love you back.
Right. But this is a problem.
Okay.
I need my money.
Okay.
And I'm going to, when we hang up, I'm calling my union.
Okay.
Okay?
Great.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
I do. You're going to call the union.
I'm going to call the union and then I'm going to get in my car. This is really hard for me.
Okay.
We've been like family.
I understand.
And I'm coming over there and I'm going to sit and I'm going to wait.
I understand.
I'm sure Shady Agent is there. He's always there. And I need to talk to him. And I'm going to wait for my money.
I understand. Sid. So I do want you to know Shady Agent is actually on location. And I understand that you are concerned. But I do want you to know I'm going to get the checks made. I'm going to do it right now. And you can come and pick them up today.
Okay.
And we will have them for you at the front.
Great.
They will be with Carla at the front.
That's
today.
perfect.
So when you get here, what time are you going to be here?
I would like to be there by 1 o'clock.
Okay. I will tell them that you will be here by 1 o'clock and we will have those checks written out for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry it came to this.
No,
but
I understand. I'm
I
sorry
need my
that
money.
We've been having our accounting issues. I really hope that you understand that it is not something personal. We've just been having really bad software issues, but we love you, Cyd, and we are going to get these checks out to you right now.
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay, so here's what happened with KMR. A handful of people did just that. They said, I'm coming over. I'm not going to wait in the mail. I'm actually going to go get my check. I want you guys to know the number of times I have gone and got my check is like, I'm always going and getting my checks.
I just picked up money.
I love picking up money. And it's nothing. It's no thing, right? Because I'm often like, they understand we're actors. We're getting paid all the time.
Yeah, they don't care.
And so when I'm like, hey, I'm in the neighborhood, I'm going to just get my check from you if you've got it instead of waiting for you to mail it out. And then I just will say, because sometimes this is true, sometimes my mail is screwed up.
Me too.
Sometimes people are breaking into the mailbox. Like sometimes things happen. And so I have called them and said, people are breaking into our mailbox. I don't trust it. This has happened 3 times in the last month. So I'm actually just going to come to you now and get checks.
And sometimes if we're really like on a roll, we don't need that $2,000 right now. But sometimes we do. And we will go get our money.
And they understand and they are used to it.
Yeah.
Now, the people who went down and sat there and waited for their checks to be written to them are the people that got their money. The people who didn't want to be of conflict and didn't want to stir the pot. And I also understand, but I want you to know this had been going on as far as I know, since at least 2019, so before the strike, okay? I have friends who were getting phone calls like this from the agency starting as early as I know as 2019. So it's been going on for a long time. And they said, oh, no problem. I understand. Yes, of course. Shady agent called them personally to apologize and say, I'm so sorry that your money's not coming, but we are having this technical issue, but I'm going to get it to you. Is it okay if I get you your money in 3 weeks and not this week? Is that okay? And because actors have loyalty, and because actors, you know, like, just like if your boss is stealing from you at a job, you don't want to go look for another job. It sucks to look for another job. But I told several people to leave KMR. And I said, I will get you with my agent. My agent would be thrilled to have you. And they were like, well, I'm just not sure. And no shade, because I understand, because it's like, again, 17 years, 12 years with this agency.
Can I add one other thing about this agency, which makes them so credible?
Yes.
They were one of 3 agents who held the line and made that. He was the first one that said, we are only doing union work. The revere we all had for that man, for standing up and saying, this is how I'm going to operate my business, was off the charts. So
but also classic scam tactic. Classic scam tactic is to save you first, to then scam you.
He was grooming. Is what he was doing.
It's all, I mean, listen, you and I listen to all the same scam podcasts clearly, and so we know. So I want to give this information out to everyone. First of all, we're fantastic actors. That was fantastic.
Well, we were doing a little improv here.
Just a little improv. We're trained. I would like everyone to know, I'm going to say it to the camera. I have been told victims should walk into their local police station and file criminal charges of theft if you were a victim of theft of KMR. So if KMR stole any amount of money from you, no matter what kind of job it was, I want you to walk into your local police station and file criminal charges. I want that to be really clear, because financial crimes are really challenging to get prosecuted for reasons I won't get into in this podcast. But if you make the claims and then everybody comes, the more people that make police reports and the more people who talk about that, please do not just sit and take the loss.
I have a question. You might know it.
Let's
you
see.
might know it.
Flip it.
What I've heard is the union cannot do this. They're legally can't do this. It has to be, now we're in individual suits against this person.
I will talk about why that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's right. So what Cyd just clarified is that the union is not in the position to come get your money for you. And I will talk about why that is. The union is in an agreement between you and your employer. And an agent is actually your employee. So if your employer steals from you, SAG-AFTRA goes after them and says, I'm sorry, but that is theft and you're going to have to pay them. But if you hire someone out and pay them for their labor, so you're paying someone else, they're your employee, that is not covered under SAG protections, even though they are a SAG franchised agency.
And what they've done beautifully, from what I'm hearing from KMR, ex-KMR clients,
victims,
is they have had Zooms, and the lawyers have given exactly what you just said. You have to file an individual report with your local police. So they're guiding, which I think, once again, a union has taken care of these actors and advising them with the law team at the union how to proceed to try to get their money back.
And I just want to manage everyone's expectations. I want to say, and I know this is going to be hard for everyone, I don't think they're going to get their money back. I don't think a single person, even the people that you and I know who are like out hundreds of thousands of dollars, are not going to get their money back. Financial crimes are really challenging to prosecute, much less receive back remunerations. So that's why it is so important to me that we do this episode, because I am so mad. And I'm so mad that after the strikes, after COVID, after we sat here and fought and fought and fought and fought for fair pay and for being treated like human beings And then the fact that somebody's going to come in and take $3 million out of the pockets of our brothers and sisters in this industry makes me so angry.
It makes me sick.
Yeah.
Because the relationship with your agent should be collaborative and freaking honest. I'm sorry, our employers, commercially we know, it ran in Georgia at 310, grandma saw it.
Right.
We file a claim, we get our money.
But our agents are supposed to be our advocates.
They're supposed to be our advocates and be on our team.
Yes, they are our team.
Yeah.
Yes. And also it makes me angry because, I don't know about you, but I have on my team what I know to be at this present moment incredible people as my agents who are advocates, who are interested in communicating and talking about money and fight for more money and fight for better treatment and all of that, and are working with the union consistently to make sure that we are all being taken care of, and they want to be collaborative in that process because they love actors, they love us.
And they respect us.
They respect us. They do. They really respect and value what we bring to society at large. And they think it's great and beautiful and important. And so when one agent does that, it is a smear against so many beautiful and incredible collaborators as agents. And that also really breaks my heart and makes me angry.
Me too.
Great. Okay, so the last things I want to discuss with you is I would like to talk about, I would like for you to plug yourself. Will you plug yourself and plug your commercial class rather quickly?
Yes. I teach a commercial class with Kelly Daniels. Partner in crime. We've been doing this for about 8 years through Camera Left, Stage Right, which is part of ASG Casting. Our class is for all levels.
It is.
We like having all different levels in our class. Our philosophy is you could learn as much from somebody that's never done this as much as they can learn from you. We're fair. We're tough. We're both moms. So we're like, you know what? We don't bullshit.
You don't.
But we are loving and caring and care so deeply for our students because we want, we know that it's a different ballgame than when we started.
Yes.
But we want to help maneuver. We like hate saying goodbye to them like they're our kids. I know. So they will be nurtured. You guys will be nurtured, cared for.
Seen
For who you are.
Yes, and what you bring to the table.
Yep.
That's what I love so much about your class. And I also just want to shout out to Arlene.
Yes.
Who has helped put this together.
Yep.
Because Arlene, who is the owner of ASG, she understood that there was a need, particularly during the pandemic, of people not knowing what we're doing, and we were all trying to figure it out together.
I think she was the first person to start it.
Arlene was outstanding during the pandemic and so passionate and generous about making sure that we were all going to figure this out together, because unlike theatrical, commercial hadn't really done self-tapes yet.
No, and so we still are online for the most part because self-tapes aren't going anywhere.
Yes.
Zooms aren't going anywhere. I just had one 2 weeks ago.
Great.
And so there is the need to still, as we say, you're in a box on a Zoom or a self-tape.
Yeah.
It's a different beast. And so we've kind of honed that in.
Great. And so where can they find that class?
Camera Left, Stage Right.
Great.
Online.
Wonderful.
We're the basics of booking.
Yep.
Love to have you.
Yep.
We will take care of you, and you will. And we laugh a lot too.
I send as many people as I can.
You're so generous to us. Thank you.
It's not about generous. I just know that you know what you're doing, and I know that you take care of people, and that's all I'm trying to do.
We really care.
Yeah, I know you do.
We do.
I know you do.
Yep.
And then anywhere that people can find or follow you, anywhere else?
Instagram.
Great.
My name, Cyd Strittmatter.
You've got to spell it for people.
I know it's a long name. Cyd Strittmatter. Facebook too.
One last thing.
And I have one last thing.
Okay, you get to do it.
No, can I just say this? Yeah. I have a mantra that I do.
Yes. Okay. Tell me.
The mantra is, it used to be, where can I be of service?
Yes.
But no, now, where can I be of service on a set? Get specific.
Yes. Oh,
I don't want to be of service.
Just generally.
Or work related. Working at wherever, you
Right,
know?
yes.
Remember, my feet are still on the ground.
Right. Yeah,
God damn it.
Yeah.
But
That's
where
beautiful.
can I be of service on a set? Because I feel like when I'm on a set, I am of service.
That's right.
I get everybody home on time. I know my lines. I do my thing. It's a business. It's a job. It's not precious. It's what we bring.
Okay, last thing is you get to pick a plushie.
Wait, are you kidding?
No, of course you get to pick a
Stop
plushie.
it.
Okay, you get to pick a plushie, and I'm going to give you 20 seconds. Any plushie can be yours.
Wait, are you joking?
I'm so not joking. Okay, I'm going to count to 20. You can pick your side or mine. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, God, I see it.
6.
Do you want to get it?
No, you get it.
Oh, God.
7,
I feel like I'm
8,
so excited.
9, 10, 11,
so excited.
12. Yay! Okay, now you have to sit down.
Oh my God, I'm
and you have
so
to introduce
excited.
us to your plushie and
Okay.
tell us why you're drawn to this plushie. And
Okay.
if you have a name for the plushie that comes to you, great. Okay, so show the plushie off
Oh my God.
to the camera. Great.
This is my pleasure.
Oh, and you picked the Casting Networks button, which is also great for everybody.
Oh, okay. I did not
great.
even see that.
Okay, great.
Meet Millie. This is Millie.
I love Millie.
This is Millie. This is sweet Millie.
Okay, now I want you to learn that Millie has 2 different versions. So look at Millie in the face. Okay, now turn Millie inside out. Oh, now who's this?
This is Ted. This is Ted.
Oh no, Ted's a
Ted.
little grumpy.
Ted, what is going on?
Poor
oh,
Ted.
I'm he's driving home with me. I gotta comfort him. This is so fun.
Yay, so fun,
Thank you.
right?
I love
You're
my,
so welcome.
my prize.
Again, we just want to keep the environment and community full of a little joy and a little sweetness. And what does that better than a plushie? Next week on Audrey Helps Actors, we've got Rafael Ponce Valencia. Thanks so much, Cyd. I adore you, and I'm so glad that you came on. This episode was mixed and mastered by Thomas Snodgrass. He loves to surf. Hang 10, buddy. Hang that 10. It was produced by my incredible producer / husband, Jesse Lumen, still so handsome. What is wrong with you? What happened? Why? It is not fair. It's appreciated. I appreciate it. Like I appreciate it. But also why? This episode was edited by Brooke Becker. Brooke Becker, don't you forget your towel. Thanks to Casting Networks for sponsoring this episode. We are so appreciative to be in partnership with you. A new feature that they are offering is called Thrive. Thrive that gives you health benefits. They also have something called Talent Scout. So if you are looking for representation, my recommendation is always just to put your materials on platforms for people to see and people to have access to them. And Talent Scout gives you just that, which is a fantastic feature that they have now. So please, when you're going on to Casting Networks and you are looking to get your annual premium membership, please save $65. Please take that $65 and save it and put yourself out there through Talent Scout and get some representation. I would just love it. I would love it. I would love it so much if you saved $65 and also got representation. That sounds awesome. All right. Go to castingnetworks.com/Audrey and use promo code AudreyCN. That's Audrey CN for Casting Networks, not Audrey CN for Cactus Needles. That one made Jesse smile, you guys. Huzzah! For $65 off an annual premium membership. All right. I hope you have a blessed week, a booked and blessed week. And if you don't, I hope you just have like a great week with people that you love. Okie dokie. Talk to you soon.